Hi, Dick Rochfort here. This is the Piper M600.
Center, Spectre 68, like cancel flight following.
Not the NG version.
Spectre 68, Roger.
So it doesn't have an auto throttle. And it doesn't have an auto land button. But it does have a level button. Having said that, today the challenge is icing in the descent. And so let's go down at 1,000 feet a minute. So let's make it 1,500 feet on this one because we want to stay high as long as possible. We'll go down at 1,500 feet. And what we're doing now is planning on a VNAV to take us under the ice. And let me show you where that is. I didn't do that. So if we come back to GTC 2, which is the dark blue banner, we can turn on weather selection, Cirrus stuff, and we can put the it's winds aloft. We don't care about that just yet. We can put the CFII current icing potential. We know from ForeFlight that 12 is contaminated, so let's see how badly. Yeah, so that's SLD, severe and moderate, and so that's not good. We don't want that, so we have to come down and be down below that 150 miles from Wichita. And we do that by coming down to 9, and lo and behold, that's still not low enough. And so as long as it's safe to do so, we come down to something else. In this case, the CFII only goes to 6, so we'll set 6 in there. We see the ice is gone. The other thing we have turned on is clouds, so we'll be in the clouds, but we won't be in the ice. So that's echo top, so we can turn that off. Or not, as the case may be. So we do have some thunder showers in that area, so that's going to be something for radar to help us with at that point. But we know we'll be warm enough to not get ice. The only other way to do it is to go over top of the ice, and that would be we can't go to any higher than 27, and that does it too. But then we have to look at each layer as we get closer and see where the ice is. So 24 would be okay because it's light only, but we still got a line of weather. The only other thing we might do is cut over here and then through that way. And so for that, let's go back to the regular map and see what we see. We'll have to range out, of course. So there's the issue.
November 637 Papa Charlie, contact Denver Center.
And that's looking kind of tight. I know I'm zoomed out, but that might be more than we wish to try to manage with radar.
November 637 Papa Charlie, contact Denver Center 118.
So another thing we can do is turn on the cursor, come over here to this open spot.
Charlie, contact Denver Center 118.57. 1857, good day, Papa Charlie.
And zoom in on that.
King Air 762 Papa Papa.
And now what we kindly want to include is some aviation information.
2 Papa Papa just off of Taos out of 11-2, like to pick up I-4 to Lubbock.
Let's turn on airways. See if we can find an intersection near that water, or to take us around that water. That's going to be over here somewhere. This might be easier to do on the ForeFlight, but we're talking about G3000 now, so I'm going to make that happen. So here's an intersection right here.
November 5080 Sierra Kilo, contact Denver Center 118.
Lions. So now what we want to do is put Lions in the flight plan. And where do we want Lions? We're direct, aren't we?
Affirm.
Yeah, so we want Lions before ICT. L-I-O-N-S.
Number 762, Papa Bravo radar, contact 11 miles southeast of
We can press the heading bug to the lubber line, switch for a moment to heading so we do no harm, then go direct Lions.
762, Papa, cleared to Lubbock gas filed up to 250.
And now what we can do is zoom in on that. There's 24.
And I got
There's 21.
A little bit cut off.
Yeah, Wichita's not looking good, is it?
Yes, sir.
I'm getting tired of fiddling with this. Let's try one more. I don't think we want to be that low that soon out, but like we need to be below 9 in 150 nautical miles. And let's see what our options are. Let's go back up to what we say, where are we, 25? Let's try 24. That's probably not going to work. Yeah, that pretty much works. But it's the descent that's going to get us.
Yep.
So instead of Wichita, after Wichita, let's add an Enroute waypoint, and let's call it LUK, Sunken Lunken.
Albuquerque Center, King Air, 98 Papa Mike.
And this, we're just doing this to get miles out of it, and time. So if we go direct to Lunken, we can see what our distance to Lunken is.
Well, it's still got you coming back to Wichita.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
So what we're going to do here is go to the map with the numbers on it and use that leg. So at 250 to Lunken, that's what we got. Zoom out a little bit. There.
3 hours and a half.
3 hours, 15 minutes. It doesn't look like enough at 25. So we could go to 27 and ask, or deviate to the northeast. Those are my two thoughts about that.
Yeah.
What do you think? So the idea would be to get that fuel range ring
right
on the other side.
That'd be nice.
So ask for 27. And let's see what we've decided is we're not going to go to Wichita. This is an M600 with range to die for. So we altered our destination to our overnight of Cincinnati Lunken with 400 pounds of fuel over the destination. So we've got plenty. What we're looking at here is how we made that decision. In addition to the SIP-FIP, we used winds aloft forecast and XRAD. And now we're close enough to this weather to literally see it out the window and know that climbing from 24 to 27 to get better fuel range solved the fuel problem.
Relatively smooth flight.
And now we're on our way. And ICT Wichita was a fuel stop, but it would have been moderate to severe ice in the descent, and we really couldn't get around it, not even by going around this way. There's ice all through that area. So our only alternative would be to stop early before we encounter this and get more fuel, or to see if we could arrange it so we could not need to stop, and that's what we did. We went higher and stayed with that plan. We could have also deviated to the northeast, but it doesn't look like that's necessary. So we're going right over the top of it, and now just a couple of hints about how we can make that decision. Now we can actually see the weather and know that we're above it. But now looking at this, we've got less. These are rain showers and potentially thunderstorms. But we've got data link lightning turned on. We've got nothing in there, so we have no lightning. which means the tops of all these, anecdotally, we know to be less than 250 because anything above 250 is likely to be producing lightning. And so using that anecdotal information, we can elect to go over the top and simply avoid the updrafts of the taller ones. If the tops go to 35, which sometimes they do, even higher, hail is possible. So we would want to stay away from any lightning or obviously hail. We can safely make that decision as we get closer by looking out the window today, which is one of the strategies that we have. But know that looking at this can tell you a lot about the weather below. Dick Rochfort, fly safely. Train often.